What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. I got an exciting one today from voromotors. This is the RoadRunner V3. It's finally out. If you guys have been waiting for this thing, finally has rear suspension. And there's no more gray area. You can get an optional pedal set on here. Now, I do have the pegs, but you can get pedals on this thing just in case, depending on your area you stay at. This thing is awesome. You can go to the website right now, you can order one, but before you do that, links in the description down below to save you guys some money on it so you don't pay full price. This thing is absolutely badass. It's very compact, very lightweight, very low to the ground, feels awesome to ride if you don't want a huge bike out there, and then you also want something that you could throw in your car, and the fact that they upgrade this thing. So let's get into that. My favorite upgrade on this thing by far is that the 0 to 30 time improved by 1.1 seconds. And the way they did that is they took the 350 watt motor that they had on the front and changed it to a 500 watt motor. And they put a 20 amp controller on the front wheel compared to the 15 amp controller that was originally on the front. So now you have a dual 500 watt motor setup and a dual 20 amp controller setup. This thing is definitely going to be a lot more fun getting up to speed, and it's definitely going to be a little faster. Another thing they did was reinforce the frame right here with a nice cutout, just in case you want to put some neon lights behind this thing or a painted like acrylic panel or something, just to give your vehicle a little bit more pop and look different out there. They also enforced the front right here, definitely making this frame more rigid and better. Looking at the back, you can get a better look at our suspension. You got a brake light back here, your controllers sit underneath the seat. The seat feels nice and comfortable. You do have the little sprocket back here that's going to be on all models, even if you do get the peg option, which I have, because down the road you can add your pedals and your chain and you're ready to go. Plastic fender back here, very small tires. These are 14" by 2.5 inches wide. Definitely a small setup. Here's a look at the side of the bike with our long battery. Now it does sit pretty low on the bike, so your center of gravity is gonna be really good. It is a 48 volt battery, 1,123 watt hours. You do get a 3 amp charger with this thing, and this is where you would charge it. You have a little flap right there, just in case, you know, water, dirt, whatever won't get in there. This is your plug right here that goes up to the controllers, and it also is removable and slides out the rear. So that should be everything you guys really need to know about it. We'll definitely go over some more stuff as we ride it. We're gonna see how it does in the dirt, some hill test, top speed test, braking test. Let's just get out there and have some fun and see if this thing's worth it by the end of this video. All right, we're on the action cam. Let me get everything lined up. We don't need this anymore, so we can see our nice display. I'm going to reset this, so we're gonna see our range, we're gonna see our top speed. And I love all the buttons over here too. After looking at them, they have actual LEDs inside, so you know that your headlight's on. You also have turn signals. They're in the back, not the front, but I like how it has a little green indicator to let you know that's still there. You do get a horn. Okay, it's decent. Anyway, let's get out of here. All right, guys, here we go. Full disclosure, I want to let you guys know this is actually the second day after filming the intro because I had an issue with this thing. And I did contact voromotors. They got back to me right away. They were very nice. They were gonna have a tech talk to me on the phone. They said maybe the motor wires in the front could have been binded or something like that. So I checked all the connections and I just started moving the wires around underneath the seat and everything seems to be working now. We are in rocket mode. Now, one thing I noticed right off the bat is when I was switching from eco mode to rocket mode, which is right on the side of my phone over here on the throttle, it doesn't show you that on the display. And I really wish it did. And every single time you turn it on and off, keep in mind that it goes back in the eco mode. I wish it stayed in rocket mode every single time you turn it back on because you're probably gonna be the only one riding this thing, right? But anyways, this is my first time being out here after feeling like I kind of fixed the front motor issue. And we are jamming. This is in mode 3 and we are hauling ass. 33 miles an hour on this little thing is absolutely insane. I feel like I'm not riding anything. I feel like I'm sitting on a briefcase, if I'm being straight up honest. That's kind of how it feels. Now, I've been on the RoadRunner Pro and that definitely felt bigger and taller. And this thing just feels tiny as hell, but it feels so fun. It's so compact
It's very maneuverable. It's like easy to get around traffic. You're not gonna be bothering anybody. And if you really wanted to get pedals on this thing so there's no gray area for you, depending on where you stay at, if you're really strict with laws over there, this is perfect. This thing is nice. I am definitely moving around town pretty quick. I got to this intersection faster than I thought I was. But here's something I'm noticing. When I was on the throttle right now, we went to half battery bars. Now, I'm not sure what the range people are getting out of these things because I never reviewed the V1 or the V2. I want to say I saw some written reviews that people said they were getting 35 miles of range. There's absolutely no way, unless I was riding in eco mode and going much slower and not in mode number 3. So I am very curious to see where I end up at, if I even kill it at that point, because we just started this review. I got a long ways to go. We got to do a braking test. We got to see how fast it is, 0 to 30. There's a test coming up right now where I like to see if it will reach over 27 miles an hour in this stretch of road, which we're going to test out right now, and I really think it is. We'll do it in eco mode, and then we'll do it in rocket mode. All right, here we go. We're in our speed test, and I want to show you that the front motor is activated, but we are going to turn that off. And if I lift it up, you're going to see that when I hit the gas, only the rear is going. So we're going to test this out in eco mode. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. This is mode 3, by the way. Definitely a very nice gradual start. This is definitely slower than your 750 watt e-bike. Keep in mind though, it feels really good. I know it's only 500 watts in the back, but this is very light. So it really picks up speed after a while. And there we go. We ended up with 22 miles per hour in that stretch of road with one motor. Here we go, same test. Make sure you guys know that front motor is on. Here we go, 1, 2, 3. We did a little burnout. Now this thing doesn't peel off like right off the bat. You can lift up the front to get it to chirp a little bit, but it doesn't have that much power to be peeling out. But holy moly, here we go, 27, 28, 29, 30, whoa, whoa. Now the brakes work decently well for this thing, but keep in mind, you still have small little tires, so these things will just slide all over the place. I braked many times. These are not hydraulic brakes, they're cable brakes. I wish they were hydraulic, but for the price point, I get it. But they just slide because you don't have that much contact patch on these tires. So really keep that in mind that it's really hard to get these things to stop quick. You're just gonna basically slide wherever you need to go. All right, so I'm still seeing half battery bars. I'm hoping it stays that way for a while. That's basically going off a voltage sag. I know it is. And since our battery should be fully charged, it should last us a while. It's probably gonna be on those 2 battery bars for a while we're on the throttle. But here it is, ladies and gentlemen, out in the sun. It is so small. This is like the size of my hand. I mean, it is absolutely tiny. 2 of my hands reach across the whole battery almost. It's very small. The seat is actually decently wide, so you can kind of move up and move back. It does have this little hump right here, so you don't really want to sit right here. Your butt's going to be seated right here. But I like how it has this because it feels like you're connected. You're not going to slide off of it when you hit like full speed or hit a bump. So it's very comfortable, by the way, too. Again, I never reviewed the V2, but this thing is actually really smooth on the road. I'm not having any problems with it, but we are about to take it off-road. But first, we gotta do this hill test and see if it makes it up it. We're gonna do eco mode and then rocket mode. Then we'll actually probably take it on this road first, then we'll go over here. So here we go, eco mode, 1 motor. Let's see if it makes it up it. We're starting right at the bottom. 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Nope, no. We didn't even get close. I thought we would at least got towards the top. All right, rocket mode engaged. 1, 2, 3. Whoa. Oh, there we go. There we go. Now that front tire was pulling out the whole time, so it was very difficult. I had to balance myself to get up there, but it definitely made it up that hill. Not the most powerful thing out there, but for how small this thing is, I ain't complaining. Let's go ride it off-road now. Now, it's not crazy smooth, but it is definitely holding its own right now. Not bad at all. It makes a little bit of rattles from the, I don't know, oh, okay, that's the fender down there. I can definitely see the fender smacking that front tire every so often. That's what's making that noise. But no, this is way comfortable. Way comfortable. And it feels planted too. It feels very planted. Oh no, this feels great. This is not bad at all. All right, so I have it in eco mode right now. We're just casually going through. There's a lot of sticks. I don't know if you guys can see that. Definitely very bumpy out here. It is not smooth whatsoever. This is a really bumpy section right here. Holy moly. Uh-oh. Oh. I think the front motor has finally given me an issue. So this is what I did earlier is I pulled this cable out and I feel like there's probably a loose connection in here. I'm probably gonna have to go through this and take the whole seat off and the bolts underneath for the controllers. I'm not exactly sure how you get to those. But see, it's working perfectly fine. But then when you're on it, okay, let's see if it still works. Come on, let's go. Come on, little guy. Take me. Yeah, I can definitely feel that front motor kicking on and off. There we go. Now that's full power in rocket mode. It just cut off again and cut back on. There we go. Now we're jamming. Yeah, there's definitely something I need to check out under there. So let's get into the turning test, ladies and gentlemen. And this thing, it turns so fast, it scares the crap out of me. This thing gets very low. The pegs aren't that close to the ground, but I am kind of curious to know how the pedals would be when turning. I really wish we would have got that pedal kit so I could have shown you guys how close it came to the ground, because I feel like the pedals might scrape. Compared to the pegs, turning like this, you're not gonna have any issue whatsoever, but yeah, when you get the pedals, I don't know. But I really feel like what makes this thing special is obviously the rear suspension. That's the biggest change. But I think the pedals are one of the nicest options that you can get on this thing. Let's see if we can get up to 25 miles an hour so I can do my braking test. The front motor seems to be working now. Here we go. 26, 27, 28. All right. Yeah, we definitely slid. Oh man, okay, we stopped way over here. You can see my mark. I actually slightly braked a little early from that little spot right there. And normally my bikes will stop. Where is the line at? The line is somewhere over here. It looks like it's faded and went away. Okay, the line's right here. So if I stop on my bikes at this line or back, it's one of the better stopping e-bikes. This one just slid all the way over here. So I'm not saying it's terrible. It's just these tires have no contact patch. So the brakes feel good in the hands. Wish they were hydraulic again, but it is what it is. It's, you know, stopping what you need to stop. Just make sure you give yourself enough time to slow down just in case you're running into traffic or anything like that. Definitely don't want to have an accident. But all right, let's get on this trip. We got to do the downhill test. Then we're going to go around this little roundabout. All right, we're back in single motor because that front motor is just, it's not liking me, man. It is not liking me whatsoever. We'll definitely get that fixed. Well, let's check this out. Let's go in the rocket mode. Oh. That's when I hit the throttle, watch. Yeah, we're having some issues over here. I really wanted to fly around this roundabout, but yeah, we're in the middle of this review. We can't stop now. I guess it's gonna save my battery by staying in single motor, but I'll keep trying it to see if it's gonna work down the road. Here we go. Let's go around this thing. This thing is gonna be so sharp on turning that you could just probably fly through this thing going hella fast. Everyone's out there riding their bike. It's early in the morning. I got up early because I just couldn't film yesterday because of that front motor issue. And I thought I had fully fixed it last night. I was like, let's get this video review done. It's raining tomorrow and I'm working the rest of this week. So we had to get this review done. This product's out now. You can go buy it right now. Go to their website, use the links, discount codes down in the description. Let's see if we can turn on rocket mode again. No. All right, guys, so I pulled over to the side real quick, messed around with the phase wires going to that front motor, and it seems like it's fully working again now. So let's go. I think what's happening is those phase wires are either touching each other or grounding out somewhere, and it's stopping all motor power. This happened on my Rev 1 when we had motor issues. Anyways, let's see how fast it goes downhill. The max speed I've seen on it has been 33, 34. I got a full face helmet on. Visor closed, 35 miles an hour. Let's go. The display actually reads lower. The display says 33. So good job on them for not putting a high number on there, saying we're doing 40 miles an hour or something like that, which most companies do. I like that. It tells you the real speed. And oh man, we got a brake. Next thing I like to show you guys is throttle response and pedal response, but since we don't have pedals on here, and keep in mind, I believe if you put pedals on this thing, you can pedal it, but I don't think there's any pedal assistance. I could be wrong, but since I don't have the pedals, I don't know, but I don't think there's a sensor for the pedals. I think it's just gonna be the throttle only, and then you just use the pedals to act like a bike, but they're not gonna do anything. So we're gonna focus on the throttle right now and see how fast it is. So here we go, 1, 2, 3. The power is absolutely instant. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you get the power whenever you want it. Again, it's not gonna be torquey where it just takes off and flies like a bat out of hell as soon as you hit that button. But when you want the power, it will give you everything it has right then and there. I love that. So if you need to get out of the way somewhere, you definitely can. Next thing on the list is trying out our horn. All right, it's decent. I like that it has somewhat of a horn on here. It's not a real horn, but it's something. And of course, we have our turn signals left and right. Let me pull over and show you guys those. Here is the left one. I tried to pull into a little shady area so you guys can see how they look. And they definitely have a hyper blink to them. They definitely flash very fast and they stay on longer than they actually blink. So there you go. And let's try out the other one, see if that one's any different. And oh, that's cool. You can put both of them on at the same time so you can basically do hazards. And yeah, it's not too bad. And let's do the brake light. So the brake light isn't that noticeable. It's only these two middle lines. So let me turn off the turn signals and you'll see that it's only those two. So if we turn the headlight on, we do get this top bar. And when you hit the brakes, it's only these middle ones. So not very bright in my opinion. I would highly recommend getting an aftermarket brake light or maybe just something else for people to see you, some lights on your helmet or around the bike or something. But yeah, it's nice it has it. It's just not the best. Let's go, let's go. We're still only in single motor. I feel like that front motor has finally given up on me. I'm doing way more videos on this than I normally do on any product review because I really want to just ride this around. I also want to see if I can get some of my buddies to ride it as well and kind of test it out. Definitely going to do a night trip with it too so we can see this headlight at night and see how it performs. I gotta say, it didn't look very bright when I rode it at night the other day testing the front motor out just to make sure it worked for today's video, which is kind of a fail to be honest. They're definitely gonna take care of you if you have any issues. I mean, it is unfortunate, especially for a reviewer to get like a product like this, but I also am not going to fake my videos and not tell you guys about things that happen because I'm a person just like you guys and I could be receiving it as a regular person, not knowing anything about how to modify or work on anything. So I just want to let you guys know the problems that I faced just in case you guys have the same issue and to see that I don't get these cherry picked for me. They're not hand picked. I don't get special models that go any faster. And yeah, this is just like what you would get in the box to yourself, to your door. So I'm just reviewing it just the way it came to me. And it sucks that the front motor is just not working anymore because I would really like to go faster than 20 miles an hour. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say 20 miles an hour is fast enough. I'm a speed demon. I've noticed that I get roughly 22 to 23 miles in mode 3 and single motor only. That is actually very good. I'm 165 pounds. I actually weighed myself the other day. I'm 162.7, I believe. So just give you an idea, if you're heavier, you're gonna go a little slower. If you're lighter, you're probably gonna be flying on this thing. I know a guy that'd be perfect to ride this thing. He's like 120 something pounds. He would be moving on this thing. But I am actually very, very impressed. Like, it doesn't feel cramped at all. My legs aren't way up here. Now, maybe with the pedal kit, your legs are gonna kind of come up here, but I'm not having a single issue riding this thing. I feel very comfortable. The seat is awesome. It does feel very sturdy. It does feel like you can feel stuff in the road. It feels like a low profile tire car would feel like. But it also feels nice and smooth when you're on a decent road. But when you do have some bumps in the road, you feel it. but it's not jarring. It's not like it's hurting you or anything like that. You know, you feel it, but you go right over it as well, if that makes sense. I'm not having a single problem with it other than we just got to get that front motor fixed. You do have a adjustable preload on the left side. You do have an ABS lockout on this side, so if you want to lock out the suspension, you can, but why would you? You want to be as comfortable as possible, so I would just leave that alone. And yeah, have people get out of my way. The horn's cool to play with. This little locking mechanism is super cool, so if you want to put it in your car, you basically just have to push this button on the front. This latch comes forward, and both of these bars scissor in. They come in like this, and they stick this way in between in the front of the seat right here. It is super cool because that makes it somewhere compact to put it in your car and whatnot. I like that. I should definitely be able to throw this in my Tesla, no problem. Even in probably my Ford Fiesta, which is a small hatchback car, and I could take this wherever I want, and this should get decent range if I don't ride like an idiot, so.
All right, we made it into the garage, and I gotta say, this thing is absolutely very fun to ride, especially for how small it is. Now, I never rode the V2, so I never got to experience that, but if that one didn't have rear suspension and this one has dual rear suspension, I gotta say, hands down, this is the game changer. You gotta go with this one instead of the V2. And honestly, the V2 is gonna be phased out after they run out of stock on that, and this is gonna replace it. So I would highly just recommend going with this one right off the bat. Now, I don't know the actual price, and I'll find this out probably once this video does end up going out, because the website link that I had, that was a private link for me, it's not available on their website anymore that showed the price, and I didn't have time to ask the company, well, as I was shooting this video anyway, so I don't know the final price on it. I know the other one was somewhere under 1,500 bucks, so I'm assuming this is gonna be probably around the same price point, and it's super fun. Honestly, the grips are great, they lock in place. The brakes aren't hydraulic, but I didn't have a problem with them. The biggest problem you're gonna have is these tires are too small, so you're just gonna slide all over the place when you slam on the brakes. So even if you did have hydraulic brakes on here, you're gonna have the same issue. This is definitely gonna stop the same as hydraulic brakes. I mean, you're not gonna go anywhere. The tires are just too small for the road. I like the fact that we have fenders front and back. Again, the pedal option as well. I don't know how close those pedals are gonna be to the ground. That might be something you might wanna think about. Maybe see if someone else has a video with the pedals on there, because that's something I would really look into. Because personally, me, pegs feel great, especially when you have a Sur-Ron, you just have pegs on there. They feel awesome. But pedals, I feel like, are the way to go, especially if you want to consider this an e-bike and you want to be on the side of the road in the bike lane, and you want to, you know, just basically be an e-bike on the trails and stuff. People are going to kind of second guess this thing and be like, hey, is that a scooter or is that a bike? You're going pretty fast, blah, blah, blah. Some places don't really care. Like here, it's perfectly fine, especially with how small this thing is. I don't really think you're going to get hassled really at all, but there are a few Karens out there, so be careful when riding this thing. But definitely, I had a blast. It's super fun. Now to make more videos on it, I just have to fix that front motor issue, and we'll go out there and have some more fun. So again, there's like 4 bolts underneath this seat, and I think I can access the controllers that way. If not, I'll take the seat off and see what's going on down there. I'm pretty sure the phase wires are touching each other, or they're grounded on something, and it's causing that front motor to buckle. And that was the same issue I had on one of my other bikes. When the phase wires came in contact, it basically locked up, and it feels like regenerative braking, and you can hear like a thud going on, and that's exactly what's happening. So I don't think the motor is fully out. I think the wires are just touching somewhere under here, and they got moved around, maybe came loose or something like that. So I'll have to look into that. But thank you guys for watching this video, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. It was kind of rushed. I apologize for that, but I will be the reviewer making more videos on this thing. So subscribe if you guys are really interested in this thing, and we'll definitely be taking it out a lot more. Second video after I fix it is most likely gonna be going back and forth to work at night to test out all these lights. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
All right, guys, so I got this seat taken off. There's only 4 bolts. You can see them right here. I thought you wanted to take off the screws to the controller because there's 4 bolts underneath the controller right here. You don't need to take those off, so just take the seat bolts off, which you can see they're right here. They're very easy to get to. You just got to use this Allen and a socket, and you're good to go. And I noticed that this was barely connected. This was hanging on by a thread like this. So it must have came detached when they pushed all these wires in here with this little clip, and over time, after I did the first little test and stuff, it must have bumped loose. So I think we should be perfectly fine right now, and to test that out, I could turn this bad boy on, and hopefully I don't pull that wire, because there is a wire going to the seat right here. So make sure to just put that on right now, and let's go to 3. You're going to notice that the front motor is not going to work, but you got to put in rocket mode, and there we go. Whew. So we should be good to go for the next couple of videos. So I'll see you guys in the next videos where this thing should work flawlessly and we shouldn't have any issues.